Well. What do we have here? Devin Haney may return and face a guy named Teofimo Lopez. And I just want to talk about it on my channel. Wow. Forbes is reporting that Devin the Dream Haney, who just fought Ryan Garcia, could make his return and is in negotiations with none other than the takeover, Teofimo Lopez. That's what I want to explore and talk about in this video. So Forbes put this out. It says Devin Haney's return is being negotiated, and it's a mega fight. This is from a contributor named Brian Mazzacku. You see it on the screen. I don't know what his name is. He said he's been covering combat sports and video games since 2011. Right? So, okay. Devin Haney is on the comeback trail following his unanimous decision loss turned no decision performance against Ryan Garcia. Signs point to Devin Haney skipping a tune-up fight and going straight to the big dogs in his weight region. According to sources I spoke with, direct knowledge, Haney is negotiating to face Teofimo Lopez in his return bout. The source didn't share dates or money, but Haney and Lopez would headline a massive card in 2025 if the fight is agreed to. The card would be broadcast on ESPN, promoted by Top Rank. Haney never lost his WBC super lightweight championship, as it wasn't on the line against Ryan Garcia due to the latter missing weight. You guys know Ryan missed weight. Even if Garcia made weight, Haney wouldn't have lost his title because his opponent tested positive for a banned substance, leading to the no decision. However, because of Devin Haney's inactivity, he is no longer considered the WBC champion. In June, Alberto Puello, who beat Gary Antoine Russell, was elevated from interim champion in the governing body's recognized title holder, and Haney became champion in recess. Undefeated Puello is supposed to face Sandor Martin, which you guys know if you follow my channel. Lopez is the WBO lightweight champion and the man Ring Magazine recognized as the top dog at 140 pounds. Lopez defeated Steve Claggett in Florida. Many criticized Lopez for a less than stellar performance, but he ran his win streak to 5 with the victory. Lopez last lost with the split decision defeat to George Kambosos, an opponent Haney outclassed on 2 separate occasions. Style make fights, so the results won't impact what happens if Lopez and Haney lock horns. However, the ease with which Haney defeated Kambosos will likely lead him to be a slight favorite over Lopez ahead of the fight. I actually don't know that. I don't know that Devin will be the betting favorite. Lopez's power hasn't been displayed since he moved up to 140. He scored a TKO Pedro Campo, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. It says Lopez is a champion, but from a notoriety standpoint, he is seemingly pushing to find a big name to fight. There was some banter with Terrence Crawford, but the fight with Haney seems much more practical. Stay tuned for more information as it becomes available. Now, listen, I got to address this in the best way. This information has nothing to do with Boxing Ego, meaning this is not my source. I haven't talked to anybody, nor have I reached out to anybody, for the record, that has suggested that this is true, right? And I don't know, homie. I don't know the writer of this article, so I'm not saying he's lying, but I don't know him to know if his information is reliable or not, right? Because If you listen to, and that's why I went over the article, link in the description. If you listen to everything that was stated, it really doesn't say much about the actual Teofimo fight, right? This, like, it says Devin Haney on the comeback trail, and he might fight Teofimo. More information coming soon. That's why I purposefully went over much of the article so you guys can see it, because this is the problem with boxing. A lot of people hear these things and they just run with it. So I'm not saying it's true or false. I don't know, nor do I care. At the end of the day, what's done is done. If they are working on the fight, then I will give you guys more of my thoughts. But I'm not going to, jump up for joy and start really breaking down the fight too much, because I haven't heard this yet, and it's possible maybe this guy is the first guy to get a lead and get a beat on the story, but it's also possible that, your sources, and see, this is the problem with boxing. Boxing has no governing bodies. So you see a lot of like freelance people, you see people on YouTube, and people just come out and, almost announce these things, and you don't even know what stage that they're in. Like, it's just that simple. You don't know what stage they're in. And here's the thing. Let's say the negotiation part is true. Let's play devil's advocate, shall we? Let's say the negotiations are true and Devin Haney and Teo are in some kind of negotiations. I mean, what does that really mean? It doesn't really mean too much of anything, because there's so many fights that are in negotiations. Shakur Stevenson, he just got interviewed and he said Tank's team reached out to him. But guess what? He's saying his next fight is going to be William Zepeda and not Tank. So in the world of boxing, it ain't over until it's over. You really don't know until you have the ink dry and then you start seeing a promotional push. So even if the two are in negotiations, Teo and Devin, if they are in negotiations, again, we don't know. We don't know anything outside of some guy, who's saying that he has a source on it, saying that they could fight. Listen, my thoughts, and I'll just give you very basic thoughts because I don't do a lot of time wasting. Y'all know that. It's a good fight. If they can get it done, bravo. I will definitely be tuned in. It's a fight that should have happened, in my opinion, already, and a fight that could have happened many moons ago, but for whatever reason, it didn't. Now, another reason why your boy Ego is a bit reluctant, and I don't really know, is one, at this point of me recording the video, I haven't seen no one else outside of Forbes and its writer who's a contributor. So I don't know if he even gets paid from Forbes to contribute, because there's a lot of freelance writers and they do it pro bono, but whatever. But I haven't really heard anyone in the industry that I know, and I know a lot of people in the industry that has really picked up on this story and is talking about that. So I don't know. The thing I will say too is, if it is true, very dangerous fight for Devin Haney, because, and I told you Devin Haney was in between a rock and a hard place. The Ryan Garcia fight, you got battered. It is what it is. You got battered. You can blame it on Osterine. You can blame it on the left hook, whatever you want to blame it on, him missing weight, whatever. The result was you got dropped. You had to show your heart. You had to pick yourself up off the canvas several times. That's what happened. Boom. So to go and jump from that, what you see on the screen, this picture right here, to a guy like Teofimo, I think that's pretty dangerous. So, I mean, if that's what Devin is on, then, credit to him. However, I don't know if that's very, very sensible to go from this to, a guy like Teofimo. There's some bad blood. Teofimo claims he hurt you in sparring. And ultimately, I think a tune-up should be desired from Team Haney. But here's the problem. In my opinion, Team Haney, they moved around and, they want to be independent. We are our own bosses and, psychology for dummies books and all this type of stuff like that. And now they kind of back themselves into a corner, because I think there's an expectation in terms of pay that Devin has frequently got, because things were on the up and up. He was winning and, doing impressively. So they're not used to being in a position like pictures like this of Devin Haney. So in order to get those same type of paychecks, guess what? You got to fight somebody real, you know? And to get that, you maybe you have to fight Teofimo Lopez. You have to fight a bigger name to get similar paychecks. And, you know, that's that. The other reason why I'm a bit skeptical of this news, and it's not to pour cold water on it, because like I said, it's not my source, so it don't affect my credibility either way. And I'm telling you as transparent as possible. But one thing for sure is Devin's gonna, you know, want a pretty penny, and so will Teofimo for a fight like that. So who knows? I remember when Lomachenko and Teofimo were talking about fighting, and they were trying to get that done. The fight was in jeopardy at a point in time because of money. Teofimo wanted more. Teofimo's also been on record recently where he stated that he's never cleared $1 million. So you can definitely imagine if he were to fight Devin Haney, he's going to want the proper paycheck. And the article said the fight would be on Top Rank in ESPN. So there's a lot of confusion, like confusing things in there, because Devin Haney, he did an interview and he said that Turki Al-Sheikh was trying to put up the money for the fight on dazn. And then he claims that Teofimo turned it down. But then now this article is saying that Top Rank and ESPN would be the promoter. And then to make that more confusing, there's definite waves in the boxing game that suggest that Teofimo is not happy with his contract and he's in some kind of litigation, potentially trying to free himself from Top Rank or maybe get a better deal at best. So that's just a lot of moving parts and a lot of things going on, and we'll see. You know, we'll see what 2025 holds. I can't wait. By the time this video comes out, maybe one of the fighters, if not both, have responded to this rumor. I'm sure after this video comes out, since people will watch it, you know, and boxing's not that big, you know, we'll get some clarification from one of the fighters. But according to Forbes, they're claiming that negotiations are currently going on a mega fight. But like I said, I feel like the easiest way to not make a fight is when you negotiate in public. So I've never been a fan of that for boxing, and, you know, prematurely exposing it and things like that, it usually is not of benefit to the fight. So I'm definitely not going to get my hopes up for this particular fight. Should it happen, I will give you guys more details and, you know, then get excited. But I've learned too much in the sport of boxing to not get excited, because how many times have we been here? Boxing fans act like foolish. How many times have we been here where you heard a fight was going to happen? Oh, it's going to happen. Oh, they're in negotiations. And then something doesn't happen. Shakur Stevenson, Frank Martin. People are like, oh, it's a great fight, mega fight. Didn't nothing happen, you know? So we got to really wait and see. Teofimo versus Devin would be a good fight for 2025. We'll see if Top Rank can get it done and, you know, really what the fighters have to say. But a lot of moving parts with Teofimo reportedly trying to restructure or possibly get out of his contract. It's a dangerous fight for Devin coming off this Ryan Garcia fight. And, you know, we'll have to ultimately see how it plays out. So that is the latest for those who are curious. And I will keep you guys updated. Subscribe to the channel. Best in the business. And it's not even close.